Assemblyman Sam Hoyt, who in addition to drafting 3 of the pieces of this legislation, has become quite a well-versed expert on the issue of smart growth issues and the ways in which government can work more efficiently to value and use taxpayer dollars in a far more effective way, such that the population and quality of life of neighborhoods can be served without excesses and inevitable cost overruns and problems that the population has to face. We thank him for the legislation on public infrastructure projects, on the historic tax credit, and also on sustainable neighborhoods for seniors. Assemblyman Hoyt, would you please join us?
The dynamic here in Buffalo and upstate New York is a unique one, and it's a recipe for disaster. And that is, as the governor mentioned, we have a shrinking population, we have a struggling economy, yet we've got massive geographic growth. That has a terrible impact on our upstate cities. We're seeing it in Buffalo and Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, and throughout upstate. And credit to David Paterson. Credit to David Paterson, because this is a project and an issue that I've been working on for more than 10 years. And I went to Governor Pataki, and I got no response. And I went to the governor before David Paterson, Elliot Spitzer, and he seemed interested, but didn't act on it. I went to David Paterson, and David Paterson said, yes, Sam, that's something that needs to be done. He started this smart growth cabinet, headed by a gentleman who spent considerable time in Western New York, my good friend Paul Byer, and he acted decisively, and David Paterson was the governor in the state of New York who signed the first smart growth legislation in the history of New York State. We will see several $100 million of private sector investment in upstate New York within 2 years of this bill becoming law. Several $100 million, over $100 million of which will be right here in downtown Buffalo. I defy any of you to name something else that has had such a dramatic impact, long-term, lasting impact on the economy of upstate New York. This legislation will ultimately, this law I should say, will ultimately result in the Lafayette Hotel being fully restored. We're optimistic that it will result in the Statler building behind us being restored, and dozens of other buildings in downtown Buffalo, downtown Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, you name it.